Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite new podcast. This is Are You Garbage? It's the show where we sit down with your favorite comedians and find out if they grew up classy or if they're fucking trash. And that's the bottom line. I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day here in Astoria, Queens. My co-host is coming at you from an undisclosed location somewhere on the southern tip of the great state of New Jersey, the Garden State Kid. Give it up for Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
Hey, gang, happy to be here. Am I in Wildwood? Am I in New York? Who knows? I'm ping-ponging back and forth under the nightfall, if you know what I mean.
One toke over the line.
Oh, buddy, I'm wherever you don't need me. That's where I'm at, okay? 1 second you blink, I'm back in Washington Heights. Next time, I'm on the Nor'easter down here on Maurice Pier.
Fucking Smokey and the Bald Man over here. breaker, 1-9er. Look out. This guy got the bandit on the loose.
Skippy and the Fatso. What's up, guys? Happy to be here. If you haven't already, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Also, the full video is available on YouTube, so check that the fuck out.
Very nice, guys. We're going to kick things off with some fan submissions here. We have a vault locked to the teeth, stacked to the brim with our loyal fan submissions. We're going to kick things off right here, right now with some of those. Kippy, what do you got?
Well, as you know, may or may not know, Patreon is up and running, and we get so many submission questions from you guys that there's no way we'd be able to get to all of them. So what we're doing is if you do join the Patreon right away, we'll answer, me and Foley will do one of your Are You Garbage questions. So that's where we are at right now. First of all, shout out to everybody that's fucking signed up so far. It's
Yes,
fucking awesome. Our first goal was 100 patrons, and we're like 70% there at this point. And at 100, me and Foley are going to go to his fucking parents' house, the fucking dump he grew up in. And we're going to do an MTV Cribs style garbage edition on that fucking California split level he's got down there.
I didn't think we'd get 20 Patreons. I got to fucking talk to my mom about this now.
I was thinking we got to get her out of the house.
I got to get this broad a Walmart gift card or something.
I'll tell her Kohl's opened back up. Give her a couple of Kohl's cash, you know what I mean? Send her on her way.
Get this broad at some lunch reservation at CC's.
I'll throw some chicken nuggets in the backyard for your dad and lock the door.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. The whole Patreon thing is fun, so please come on board and join us. And if not, that's okay too. Got the pod every week. We're having a good time. We appreciate everybody.
Exactly, nothing changes, but we do have 3 different levels of Patreon. There's trash, there's Garbaggio, which is a little bit classier, and then the highest level is Filthy Animals. So check that out.
All right, let's get
fucking into it. Enough of the
Q&A
business
here. Yeah, enough of that. Let's go. Boo. Let's go, Baldy. Hit me. What do you got? Huh?
This one's from Matt Cuddy. Have you ever drank Surge soda?
What the fuck is that?
It's like one of those like fucking extra caffeinated. We did Jolt.
Well, listen, here's my thing. You're a young whippersnapper. I remember when Jolt came out in the early 80s.
Yeah, you waited in line at the 7-Eleven like it was a pair of Jordans.
Got it for Christmas that year. No, we weren't allowed to. That might as well have been crack cocaine in my house.
Sure, of course. Which
meaning we were fighting over it.
That means my mom stole my stash.
No, we weren't allowed. I thought it would kill you. That's how scared they made it.
Yeah. What I remember, so there was nobody sold Jolt. Jolt was the only one we knew about, and shout out to Perrant's Deli. They were the only one that sold it. Like no name brand, like Wawa didn't sell it. Fucking none of the gas stations sold it. You couldn't get it at the supermarket. You had to, I guess this fucking Perrant had a hookup. He also had the only Boar's Head lunch meat in town. So we used to go all the time. Well, we used to ride our bikes there and fucking, we couldn't tell your parents you were getting fucking Jolt soda. And at the same amount of, dude, a 20-ounce bottle had like, it was like equivalent to like 17 cups of fucking coffee. That shit was fucking no joke. You would take a sip and you would feel your teeth starting to rot out of your fucking head.
Yeah. No, we weren't. I give him credit though, man. Talk about fucking genius marketing and genius graphic design. That lightning bolt through the O. Oh, put that on a T-shirt and sell it. Hello.
All right. Next one comes from Christian, aka Chrissy Habert Caliphate. I believe that's from the History Hyenas people. Shout out to you guys. All right, this is a blast from the past. Have you ever taken tools from around your house to build a fort in the woods and like scavenging for pieces of wood with your friends?
Oh my God, dude. There was this girl that lived next door to me when we lived in Wilkes-Barre. Okay. We moved down from the mountains into the big city for a couple of years.
Down from the mountains.
Yeah.
Fucking bunch of clampets.
And this chick, I guess she basically molested me. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. I was 10. She was 13.
I'm listening.
Fucking dude. And it
playing
was,
doctor in the woods.
Oh my God. It was insane. I look back on it now because I didn't know what to do. But if I just knew where to put to take my weenie and put it in her woohoo, we would have had a pretty fun time.
How the hell did you get to this part from building a fort in the woods with your friends? You're just, hey, have you ever built a fort? And then he fucking opens up the fat shell.
Just bragging about getting laid as a 10-year-old. No. So what we did is that we purposely were going to build a fort in the woods where we could go and do these things and hook up and all that kind of stuff. So we scoured for wood, fucking took tools from my parents.
I knew where there was some. And your little underoos, and your little Power Ranger tighty whities.
I don't know if I got a 1x3 sticking out of my sweats here, honey.
It's you. You know you had a troubled childhood when you got a little stinger and shit stains in your underwear. That's a bad look if you got a combo. If your mom's washing your underwear and you're getting laid, there's something wrong with your childhood. You guys were fucking backwoods country folk.
Oh man, it was weird. She was 13, I was 10, but yeah, we fucking took tools, went and got wood, and looking back on it, the construction design was really
it wasn't up to code, I'll tell you that much.
We stuck the wood halfway into the mud, into the ground.
Anal?
And then built around there.
Nothing on that halfway into the mud, anal, nothing? Come on. I'm fucking too quick for you today. I'm throwing heat.
What about you?
Dude, that's all we did. That's all. I mean, dude, we grew up in it was the suburbs and there was just woods. So they were building construction. There was new construction everywhere of those McMansion houses, Toll Brothers. So we would go just fucking steal from the job sites, woods, 2x4s, plywood, whatever. And I must have built 50 fucking forts as a kid in different woods. I mean, and then as you got older, you stole a little PVC, maybe made a 3-foot bong or whatever, real classy.
Start putting the wiring in the fort.
I got a ceiling fan, a window unit.
I tell you what, those woods, wherever they were, wherever you grew up, those woods, there was a real love and hate and joy and fear relationship involved. Because you would just be in the woods, you'd be like, oh, this is awesome. As soon as it started getting dark out, you're like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh, bro.
And there was also, you ever be in the woods? Have you ever been in the woods and you just come across an abandoned house just in the middle of the woods? Or you come across what used to be a fireplace and you're like, what the fuck? There was always some weird graffiti. That's where the older kids went. You knew there was some kind of satanic ritual going on out there in the middle of the night. Fucking frightening. But if you're looking to fucking make out with a 13-year-old, that was the spot to take her.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. Spent all of my childhood in the woods, and one time we found a 3-foot grave the size of a casket with a shovel. We interrupted the digging of it.
What?
Yeah.
Was the person still there?
No. There was just the size of a casket, right?
Uh-huh.
What is that? 7 feet. Whatever, by 3 feet. Yours would be 5 foot by 6 foot. You're a little more portly gentleman. And then it was just dug 3 feet deep, and there was the big mound of dirt, and the fucking shovel was just in the sand.
Left the shovel there?
Yeah. This is from Steve Brady. Growing up, did your family have assigned seats in the kitchen table? Oh, dude. Garbaggio.
Ooh,
But
yes,
dude,
we did.
As a kid, that was like your real estate. You didn't own anything as a kid, especially a little piece of garbage kid. You know what I mean? That was the only thing you could plant your flag on, was that whatever seat you were at the table.
Yeah, I know there's one place you couldn't sit at the Foley house. That's in the fucking big dog's chair.
Oh yeah.
Unless you were paying the check. It was funny because every time we went out to dinner, it would always be like a replica of at home. You know what I mean?
Your dad.
My dad was never
hit your mom.
My dad was never a booth guy. He always wanted a table, never a booth.
Really?
Yeah, like
that's trashy. Table guy's trashy. You need a booth. Dude, you love a good booth at a diner.
You like a booth. I know that. That much I know about you.
You like to have a booth.
You like to have a booth and a fucking omelet. I know Kippy. We'll get the burger. Mm-hmm. When Kippy gets a burger, Uncle Hank knows he's getting the coleslaw and pickle. Kippy, don't touch it.
Yeah. All right. This is from Stephen Picaro. Have you ever watched The Price is Right in a bar? I can't say I have. If you're at the bar for the 11 a.m. kickoff of The Price is Right, that's fucking bad news, dude. You got bigger issues than what's on TV. If you're fucking half 3 sheets to the wind when the fucking Showcase Showdown comes on.
Only if I was working at a bar. That's the only time that would be on.
Yeah. All right. This is from Jason Donaldson. This is a fucking home run. I'm sure someone in your family has, because you're fucking derelicts. This is from Jason. Has anyone in your family ever worn a suit jacket with sweatpants to a fancy family event? I don't know. You wore fucking joggers to a funeral not too long ago.
They were made out of khaki pants.
Nah, no. But there's elastic in them at the ankle.
It was.
Yeah, that's not a good look. If you can see your socks at a funeral, you fucked up.
No socks at a funeral is just disrespectful, I'll tell you that. For a while, my dad had a pair of cargo sweatpants.
Ooh.
That he would push the boundaries of fashion.
Where he could and couldn't wear
Where
those.
he couldn't, yeah. There was definitely a sweater tucked into those at one point with maybe a sport coat over it to go somewhere.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one time I had a wedding to go to, and I was like a little fat kid, and I guess The Sopranos was hot it was in the middle of The Sopranos. And my dad, we took me out to we had to go a family wedding, a cousin's wedding or some, maybe even an uncle's wedding. Who knows? That's how trashy that side of the family was. And he got me a half turtleneck, you know what I mean? Like a sweater turtleneck type thing. And yeah. I just wore the suit over that. I didn't have a shirt and tie. I just had the Tony Soprano special. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like a real fucking Guido shit.
Hey, what are you, a fucking pit boss at fucking Caesars?
Yeah, that's what I look like. Changing 500.
Hey, Merle's going on her break.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny as shit.
What else?
All right. This is from Deadeye Davey. Anyone in your family ever have to wear an eye patch?
Oh, I tell you, that Deadeye Dave, man, that kid hits a lot of fucking home runs.
Damn, that's a fucking good piece of business.
I did. I had to wear it on multiple occasions.
For what?
Because I wear contacts, and I was shitty about them when I was younger, so I would always scratch my cornea. So you go in, they give you the drops, they put ointment in your eye, then they put a fucking eye patch on you for a week or two. Happened 3 or 4 times.
I remember I went over to my buddy's house one time when he answered. I didn't know. This is when you had to go knock for people. You know what I mean? I went to knock for my boy, and he opened up and an eye patch on us. Where were you, fucking plane crash? What the fuck were you doing?
Yeah. I assume you'll be staying for dinner then, Kippy.
Okay, this is from Zach Buckman.
Buckman.
That's good. That's a good fucking baseball name. Up the bat, Zach Buckman goes deep.
Buckman. Buck Buckman was something. I think that was Seinfeld.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Have you or a family member ever ended up with a bald head because someone forgot to put the attachment on the back when you were getting an at-home haircut? Like, did you ever fuck up your haircut so bad that you had to shave it?
No, because we didn't. If my mom gave us a homemade haircut when we were kids, she wasn't using fucking clippers. She was using scissors.
Got the bowl out, the good pasta bowl, and fucking did you up real nice.
Yeah, that's how whack my shit was. Never had clippers.
My mom was doing me and my brother like doing her hair on the back deck, and like you're like sitting on like one of those red igloo coolers or whatever, and she's trying to like fade up my brother, and she fucked his shit up bad, and she had to take it all off to like a 0, dude. But he looked like he was a chemo patient. People were like looking like, what the fuck's wrong with that kid? Plus he had big ears. It was a bad look.
Not to mention you tagging along behind them.
Eating dirt.
Guess they only feed one of those kids, huh?
Yeah. All right, let's see. We got 2 more, I think. All right, this is from Kyle Noel. I don't think this is a no for me. Has your family ever gone to a food bank but still had money for smokes and booze?
I want to say yes, in a way. I remember my mom used food stamps back in the early 80s.
To mail letters?
Huh?
To mail letters? Dumb broad.
And she was smoking, so she was up to something, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, if she's catching Bernies and yeah, all right. We never did. I mean, my money was never that tight. But I remember one time when I first started doing comedy, I was, I didn't have a job. I was fucking dead broke, and I was walking past like a food bank, Phil Abundance or whatever, and they were giving out some fucking fresh fucking bags of groceries, and I was thinking about hopping in line for sure. I was like, I can't do it.
Let me get two.
All right, and I think this is the last one for today.
Hit us.
From Jeffrey Manzi. As a kid, did your parents make you stop at the gas station to pick out candy at slightly cheaper prices before going to the movies?
What? I fucking do that now. What do you? Of course, my whole life.
You did that as a kid?
Yeah.
That's trash, dude. That's trash. No matter how tight money was. My mom would be like, I'm not going to the fucking movies if I'm not getting a bag of pea corn. You know what I mean?
Classy old broad, huh?
That's something I remember the first time I went over to my buddy Liam's house. They were like, oh, we're going to the movies. And we stopped at the fucking deli, and everybody started putting like Twizzlers down their pants and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? I got a dub on me. Let's hit the candy bar, son.
I got some Nerds rope with my name on it.
Yeah, I'm not fucking buying these bootleg ass snacks.
The candy at the movie theater is usually pretty whack most of the time. Yeah.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'm not a big sweets guy, but I would get the fucking pretzel nuggets with the super pretzel nuggets with the hot cheese. You can't put those down your pants and sneak those in.
No, we would bring soft pretzels. We would just bring a box.
You guys got a George Foreman grill going.
Who wants it? The dogs will be ready in a minute.
You're looking for an outlet?
Got a place I can put this toaster oven real quick.
You guys got a freezer back there? I got some steaks that are going bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for writing him.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are fucking consistently hitting home runs. We got the fucking funniest listeners. That's so great. But yeah, guys, shout out. If you right when you join the Patreon, we will read your questions on an episode. So, guys, we appreciate all the support. Thanks so much.
Let's go, baby. Folks, we could not be more excited to have our incredibly special guest here with us today. His acting credits include HBO's Bored to Death, FX's Louie, Inside Amy Schumer, and, of course, Better Call Saul. His writing credits, The Pete Holmes Show and Wet Hot American Summer. And, of course, he has appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience, on The Bonfire, Last Call with Carson Daly, Chelsea Lately. He has his own Comedy Central Presents. He has his own half-hour Comedy Central Presents. And, of course, he has his own special, You Let Me Down. Ladies and gentlemen, just a small-town kid made good. But the big question on everybody's mind today, is he garbage? Give it the fuck up from Mr. Joe Derosa.
Thank you. It's the nicest intro I've ever received.
That's what we go for every time, buddy.
It's good. Very good.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Good to see you. Thank you for doing the show.
Sure.
first question I want to ask you just real quick is, do you think you're garbage?
Yeah. And I could save us a lot of time.
Now, for the listener, Joe, Kevin, and I all grew up very similar background. Joe actually grew up, I think, like a couple towns over from me. I went to Wissahickon High School. You went to the Catholic school.
I went to Kenrick, Bishop
Strike
Kenrick.
number one right there.
Yeah, became Kennedy Kenrick, and then it closed.
When your schools combined, man, that's not a good look.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's always the last act.
Yeah, we showed pictures of it on the bonfire recently, and it's just the saddest building. I mean, there's nothing in it now, but just the sight of it, and it's just this big brown square, and it had no amenities, it had nothing. And then I think 3 or 4 years after I graduated, they built like a state-of-the-art, great, beautiful high school 5 minutes from where I grew up, and I would be on a 90-minute bus ride every morning to get to Kenrick.
Holy shit. That is such a shitty move, man. When either your school is under construction while you're going there, or when you graduate, they fucking hook it up. Like, yeah, we got a pool now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's I really missed out on that one, but oh well.
Did they send a bus? That was always a weird thing, especially like in the suburbs. If you went to the private school instead of the public school, they would have to send their like own bus to go get you, and you'd always see the Catholic school kids waiting at like 5:30 in the morning to get picked up at the bus stop.
And a Greyhound pulls up.
Like,
was it a yellow bus?
Dock
Yeah,
workers.
regular, yellow bus. Yeah, it was weird. It was just my bus, I think, had a total of 10 kids on it.
It was always so weird because I went to public school. I'm not too far away. I went to Council Rock. So it was all just fucking anytime the kids would go to like Wood or like Ryan or any of those schools, there would be like 3 kids on a bus that holds 55 people. It was fucking strange.
A bunch of my buddies went to Council Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What town did you grow up in? Because I figured you grew up right around where Kenrick was, in the suburbs of Philly. What town did you actually grow up in?
Sort of. I mean, I grew up in I was born in Philly, Northeast, and I grew up in Collegeville, which is more referred to as Trap now.
Yeah.
But I grew up there.
It's bad when the name of your town changes midway through. That's not a good sign, Joe.
Jesus Christ.
It was always, there was part of it known as Trap. It wasn't that it changed, to be fair. It was, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's not more known. I don't fucking know. It's a lot of
places. I'm sorry. A lot of places are big on that, man. Philly's big on that too. They'll change the name of a neighborhood to try to make it sound a lot better than it was.
Yeah. Well, Trap is not a great name.
No, that's only referred to drug houses. I always thought college it's nice. It's like single family homes or it's a nice place. I thought.
Yeah, when I grew up there, it was a little more sort of Stranger Things vibe, 80s suburbia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more farmland and woods and that sort of thing. But still something, still some development and houses and stuff to ride your bike to as a kid. Now it's very, very developed, and ritzy is not the term, but it's these big.
The McMansion type things.
Yeah, exactly. That's everywhere there now. It's very different looking than when I grew up there, which is a shame because I feel like a lot of kids, I think the best environment to live in, if you're able to, is to get that sort of city suburbs thing where you're in the suburbs at night, so it's quiet, and then you can kind of take a short ride into some activity area and stuff like that. And I don't think a lot of kids get to experience that anymore. I feel like you're either out in the middle of nowhere or you're just in, overdeveloped land. I feel like people don't get to experience what I experienced growing up, which was you could go this way a few minutes and be in farmland, or go that way a few minutes and be in the center of town, or, go that way was a trailer park, and that way was a little bit of a nicer suburb, or
sure,
you got a taste of it all,
Yeah.
There's
a recurring theme that anytime there's just one trailer, if there's a lot of trailer parks, it's fine, but anytime there's one trailer park in a neighborhood, that's always it's always bad news if there's just one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's
the owner wouldn't sell to the developer. Fuck you, I ain't selling.
Yeah. People.
Would you and your buddies hop on the train and go into the city by yourselves as kids?
No. We would drive in once people, once some of us got licenses and stuff, but no, we never trained in. The train was, because the train was all the way over in Norristown, or towns that were just as far, so it didn't make any sense. By the time you got over there, you might as well drive the extra 20 minutes. And whatever.
Would you guys drive down there and get weed in high school? We did that all the time.
In college, we did. I didn't smoke weed till college, so I didn't drink till college either. So in college, we would drive down to Philly to get weed.
Did you have a place to go, or you just like drive to a bad neighborhood and like ask for somebody?
We eventually had connections, but I definitely did the thing where we drove and just started asking people, and then you get robbed and.
Sure. Wait here, we'll be right back. Give me I need the money now, though. The guy needs the money.
Yeah. I had a guy tell me he wants to go wait in the bushes for him to. Fucking brutal, man.
Dude, we used to cross the Delaware River to go buy booze in Jersey because they were like, because the PA is their state store, to get booze, you have to go to a state store. So we'd go to Jersey to like, some like fucking Rocky's Liquor Mart type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like outside of Camden or whatever. And we pulled up the one time and these like four thugs just came to the car and they were like, can you buy us beer? And they're like, yeah, sure. And we just cracked the window and it was like a vending machine. It was like an ATM machine. They just kept taking out money and just walked away. They just took it through the crack in the window and left.
Yeah, I think that was like a common thing. Like if these suburban kids are, first of all, you get older, you realize how insulting it is to like,
of course,
drive into a rough neighborhood and ask for a favor, of any kind. And
Can you make our lives even more easier, please?
Yeah. So I got it. Years later, I understood why that man took my money from me.
I love it. And growing up, did you have any brothers or sisters, or was it just you?
Just me. I'm adopted. I'm the only child.
Did you know you were adopted when you were a kid, or is that something they told you later on?
Yeah, no, I knew I don't remember them telling me. I always knew.
Just always.
Okay.
Knew.
Yeah, I always knew. But I am Egyptian. My mom didn't tell me that until I was about 12.
Okay. And their background's Italian.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yes. And because she didn't know how I would handle it. She didn't know, I
was going to say, it's still pretty cool that they told you off the jump, or like that you always knew. Because I always think it's a weird thing when like they tell you, like as you're an adult, like, your sister's actually your mom, or some like, Irish Catholic bullshit like that.
I don't understand that. I guess there's some interest in, you don't want the kid to be hurt or feel different or something like that. But I mean, my God, like it's so much harder to do it later. You might as well just.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
You think you have all these traits of your family and you're like, wait, I don't even fucking know you.
Yeah. Make it normal. Don't make it the new normal. Just make it normal from the beginning.
So you thought you were Italian up until you were 12.
Yeah. So that was a little bit strange, but I wasn't, when my mom told me, I wasn't upset. I was actually kind of excited because it was sort of this exotic other thing.
Yeah, something
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Are your parents like hardcore Italian?
What does that mean? Like, do they have decals on their windows?
Do you guys get a white Christmas? Do you guys get a white plastic Christmas tree? Is what I'm asking, Joe.
We did when I was little.
Of course you did. Yeah. Every Italian in the Northeast has a white Christmas tree. Those
things, as soon as I have enough space to have a fucking Christmas tree, I'm going to get one of those again. I think those are awesome. But yeah, no, they're, it was pretty traditional, East Coast Italian.
Yeah. What'd your dad do growing up?
He worked in computers. He actually worked at Sperry Univac, which later became Unisys. But that's Sperry Univac's the company invented the first computer ever.
Oh shit!
Literally ever. So my dad worked there, and my mom did. She was a secretary, stuff like that.
All right.
I like the Christmas stuff. Did you guys have colored lights on the house at Christmas, or did you go white?
Colored lights. My mom eventually went white with it. They still decorate the house. They win sometimes in their community. Like they win the award sometimes for like.
Really? They go all out like that?
Yeah, but it's very tastefully done. It's very
Okay.
tastefully done. It's not like Griswold style, but like,
Yeah.
you know, but they do. Yeah, they decorate.
There's a fine line between gaudy and tasteful when it comes to Christmas, especially Italians on Christmas. It can get dicey.
And I got the
yeah.
classy vibe. I got the classy vibe from when you said your mom went from colored and then she transitioned into white lights. I think that was like around the 90s. Everyone was like, oh, this fucking colored lights are trashy as shit. We got to get away from this.
Well, it's funny. She really likes this, but I made her, because I go there every year for Christmas. Her Christmas tree 2 years ago, she was trying to make it like all pastel colors. And we started the day, I always helped them set up the tree. So the day we were setting up the tree, she started pulling out the stuff she bought. And I was like, we're not using that. We're not using that. We're doing a Christmas tree. And I went with my dad to Walmart and bought like traditional, you know, like red,
proper
yellow
stuff. Yeah.
And came back and we did it that way, like classic. And she loves it. She was like, she wants to do it that way all the time again now. And that old school shit is the best, man. If I had a house, I would do the color lights. I would do the plastic Santa Claus. I would do all that fun shit, man. That feels like that's fun. It's a holiday. This shit where it's all like white lights and like paper angels and shit like that. I mean, sucks.
Did you guys do tinsel on the tree?
Yeah, we still do garland. We don't do tinsel because of the dogs.
Garland's nice though. Garland's a classy touch. Tinsel's fucking. My parents got divorced. My dad started doing tinsel. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Dude, I forgot about that
great.
with the dogs. Yeah, the dogs eat tinsel and then it's hanging out of their ass.
Yeah, they'll eat it. And
Christmas evening. That's happened to me.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, the garbage stuff is the best. We used to put trains around our Christmas tree. We'd have two platforms of Lionel trains going around.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love shit like that, man. I mean, you can't, you know, that's fun. It's like Halloween. I love like classic Halloween, you know.
Did they go all out too on Halloween?
You know, not really. My dad did with the costumes, but decorating the house, not, I don't think so. I don't remember it being all decked out, but my dad would really get into my costume. So he would help me craft. The other parents always loved my costumes because my dad would really help me like craft like a costume, you know? So before I was Freddy one year, Freddy Krueger, and he made me the glove because it was before you could buy them for kids. So he actually made me a glove.
That's great.
Oh, that must have been a fucking hit in the cafeteria that day. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Dude, my dad would buy me one of those rubber masks that you had to like look through the nose hole and just was like, yeah, shut up and keep it moving. Shut up and keep it moving, fatso.
Yeah.
Since when does Captain America wear jeans? I thought it was awesome, but it's garbage. But I always thought it was awesome that one house where the parents would go so far out that they would try to scare you. Like the dad would be dressed up as like a scarecrow sitting on a fucking lawn chair in the front lawn.
Yeah,
when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" But then looking back, I'm like, "Fuck, was that guy doing?"
That's great. I mean, you know, those days are gone. I mean, you could never.
Yeah, you can't dress up and scare people out front of your house anymore. No fucking way, dude.
Yeah. There's no fun anymore. I mean, it's like it's crazy. But like, I'm just thinking of this now, but. I feel like that's why there are so many people in there. You know, I'm in my 40s now. I still live like I'm in my 20s probably, but on paper, you know, like I still want to live in neighborhoods that have fun bars.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with 20 people. You know, I don't want to hang out with bars with a bunch of 20-year-olds, but like I still like bars where people my age or a little younger, a little whatever, like hang out and drink cheap beer and do shots. And I like to stay out late and I like to play video games and I like to do all this shit that I think, you know, in a traditional sense is in quotes immature. But I think that you're seeing more and more people do that kind of stuff now. You know, people that are marching towards 50 that aren't living traditional lives for that age bracket because of this. Like, because it's like, that's the only fun you can have now is with other people your age that also get it. It's like that fun dad shit is done. Like,
Yeah,
there's
for sure.
too much liability with it now. There's too much, what do you want? Somebody else's kids in your house, and then you try to play a prank on the kids, and then one of the kids gets upset or whatever, and then they tell their parents, and then you're blackballed from the fucking school district or whatever the fuck. It's like, who the fuck? I feel like the big kid thing is like for people that don't have kids anymore. It used to be a guy would have kids, and he would keep being a kid with the kids, and it's like now it's just like, nah, we just want to have kids, and we'll just keep hanging out.
Yeah.
Fun, I guess, because
I think that's the generational thing. Like our parents, our dads look at that and like, what the fuck? You're watching another guy play a video game? Like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And I think that's just, from us being 80s and 90s kids.
Even something like as simple as that, like video games, like you're saying. It's like, it used to be my dad would buy me video games, and I'd play them with my friends, and my dad would sit and watch us play, and sometimes he would play, and it was fun when you're a kid. I wouldn't play a video game with a kid now if I didn't, you know what I mean? If I had a kid and his friend was like, then I got to sit there and go, is the content okay?
Sure.
It's so beyond. It used to just be, that's too much blood and guts, or that's too much nudity.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like, okay, outside of that, it was like, nothing's going to scar your brain forever. Now it's like, was the language okay? Was the content okay? Were there political overtones? Were there gender overtones? It's like, oh, fuck all this, man. Like,
I know.
I want no part of it, man.
I've been down the shore the past few weeks with my family's been there, my nieces and nephews. And the whole time it's just my sister and brother just talking to other parents about things. They were like, I just got off the phone with Billy's dad. And then, we're next weekend, we got to see Jeannie. And I'm like, my mom, the whole goal as a kid was to your parents not talk. I would if my mom talked to one of my friends' moms about something, I was like, you were in fucking trouble for something. You know what I mean? I'm like, that was you try to avoid that at all fucking costs.
You're looking to grease somebody at 20 to keep their mouth shut. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
If she asks, I was over here for dinner last night. Don't go ratting me out.
Yeah. I mean, it was, it's like, I remember finding porn at my friend's house, like with me and my friend finding porn of his dad's at his house, and my mom finding out about that. And it was just like, I don't want you to do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I got to call them and tell them that they put my son in an unsafe environment. It was none of that. It was just like, don't do that. I don't want you to do that. That's wrong. And it was like, all right. And you either did, or you either listened or you didn't listen. You know what I mean? Like, and that was it. But I can't even imagine now what the having a kid. I see the shit that, oh my God, man.
You would have a mark on you at the fucking softball games, I can tell you.
Your kids wouldn't be allowed to hang out with anybody in the fucking neighborhood.
No.
That would come off as so creepy. Did he show it to them? Did he show it to them on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine as comics, like...
No. You can only hang out with other comics' kids, I think.
Yeah, it's like, somebody's kid sees your comedy, and then it's like... And then comedians are getting canceled without the kid factor in there.
I know.
So then you got to go to the parent-teacher thing or whatever the fuck it is at the school, and then they're going, did you say this on television? Did you say this on your podcast? Do you think that's okay? Does your son know you talk like that? Because my son does, and I don't like that. Why would you? Fuck.
I never even thought of that. Does that happen?
It must.
That's why we're going strictly behind a paywall, ladies and gentlemen. Patreon.com. Got to pay to get the goods.
I don't know any comics that it has happened to, at least that they've told me. I mean, I'm assuming. I also don't know many comics with kids, to be honest. But I mean, it happens. If you watch those life after porn things, those documentaries on like Netflix or whatever, that happens to them all the time. They say
it's so fucked up.
Yeah, Asia Carrera is a big one. She like retired. She moved out to I think Arizona. She moved out to some like sort of deserty kind of place. She has a daughter. She's like, I had a kid. I didn't want to do this anymore. I wanted to start a new life. I wanted to put this behind me, and she, and with And not with shame, not with like, I'm so mortified by what I did, but just very much like that chapter is closed. I'm raising a kid now. And she's like, yeah, they find out and they treat you differently and they judge you. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, 2020. That's fucking crazy. I just pictured Bobby Kelly getting yelled at a parent-teacher conference when he described that. He's sitting at a little desk getting yelled at.
It was 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
All right, let's get into some questions here. We're going to play a little game called Are You Garbage with you, Joe. Just answer the questions to the best of your ability and as honest as you possibly can. And we're going to find out how garbage you, in fact, are. If you aren't garbage, because maybe you think you're garbage and you're not really garbage. I got to tell you, when you said the thing about your mom going from the colored lights to the white lights, that was a real point in my book.
Point towards not garbage?
Towards not garbage, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's garbage trying to look
so you might be so garbage your rods and cones
Yeah.
are all screwed up, Joe.
I think it's trying to look classy, like, which is always the sign of garbage.
We did it because
That's also true.
sold.
If you're trying to do something that you think's like what rich people do,
Oh, yeah.
that's always tough.
Yeah.
You know what? There was that in our family that was drinking Crystal Light. We thought that was like a rich person's drink. We started drinking
wow.
Crystal Light in the summer. Felt like Kennedy's walking around fucking Woodpane Township.
Oh, boy.
All right, here we go. A couple of the basics starting out. What was the name of your grocery store growing up? Where'd you guys shop?
Acme.
Classy.
Acme's
Very
clean
nice.
living, middle of the road. All right, did you have a garage growing up?
No.
No garage. Was it a single family home or a townhouse?
Single family home.
Single family
Driveway?
home, no garage.
Driveway, yeah. No garage.
Basketball net in the driveway.
No. I didn't play sports.
Okay.
What bank did your mom go growing up? What was your bank?
It doesn't exist anymore. I think it was called Sovereign Bank. I think.
Sovereign was big back then, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Chemical Bank, it burned.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. I don't understand how when you drive through small towns and like our area, the Philadelphia area has a bunch of them, but these like small banks that you never heard of, it's like, how are you, like you must be getting crushed with ATM fees that people don't have huge banks.
It is weird.
Yeah,
well,
like, how do you pay for this?
Yeah, it's that, and it's also like how do you have like a mom and pop bank? It's weird.
Yeah, like Ambler Savings or something like that. In Ambler, PA, there's an Ambler Savings Bank. I swear to God, it's the size of a fucking city block. It's brand new and beautiful. I'm like, who could possibly have their money in there?
Ambler, PA. Wow, I went to Temple Ambler for a year.
I took classes there too.
Yeah,
ooh, that was one of my questions. Did you go to a satellite campus?
I'm a fellow owl myself.
Yeah, just for 1 year.
Did you go to Temple for the rest of the time, or was that it?
No, I transferred to Kutztown.
Ooh,
okay,
that was my second. That was my second school.
I loved Kutztown. Was really fun when I was there. It's gotten a little plain Jane since then, but
that's always weird because that's just like those colleges always like the PA state colleges because it's just like the college is the town for the most part. Like Kutztown isn't.
Yeah.
You remove that, there's not much going on, right?
Yeah, no, that was well, Kutztown itself is a pretty cool artsy little town. It's actually a place that'd probably be pretty lovely to live in. But yeah, the college certainly was, a moneymaker for the town. But a lot of the town people didn't like the college kids because they were loud and But
were you guys animals back then?
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was very Animal House. Like when I went there, it was really wild, a lot of acid, a lot of weed, a lot of fucking drinking.
Did you stay in a house with your buddies?
Yeah. Not a house, apartment. We had a whole apartment building where me and all my friends occupied every apartment. It was fucking great.
That's pretty dope.
I feel like that's more risky to do nowadays too. Like that college experience now, if you are having it, you got more of a chance of getting fucking in trouble or doing something with all the social media and shit like that.
What are you going to do? I mean, there was a time where it was like, could you imagine streaking now? I couldn't,
I don't know. That really went in the 90s. Were people streaking in the 90s?
Get a couple guys.
Yeah, still, I graduated in 2000. I definitely streaked a couple times, and there was not a worry in your head of indecent exposure. It was like
indecent exposure. That's a fucking sex crime now. If you're on the wrong block.
Yeah, I know. There was no like. Because it was so not sexual. It was like, no, it's funny because we ran naked through a thing. Like, that was the joke. But you couldn't fucking do that now. Because everything sucks, man.
Happy-go-lucky Joe Derosa, ladies and gentlemen. I can see the tension in your neck. I don't know if it's because you hate us or if you're just grinding out about something.
Not you guys. I like you guys. I'm just thinking about everything.
I like that stress of him, dude. When you were telling that story about the kid, I just pictured you as the dad. That would be funny. That you would be the dad that the kid with like having like kids over and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had kids, I wouldn't just have kids over.
So yeah, it's a little caveat to that.
Yeah.
What do you got, Kippy?
All right. Did you ever dye your hair? Have you ever have frosted tips?
Never had frosted tips. I definitely dyed my hair. I bleached my hair at the end of high school.
Yeah.
Like short bleach blonde. Like back when when I graduated high school, like the punk was coming back into the mainstream. It was like that very, hot topic.
Sure.
At the mall era. So I did that.
You ever have a tail?
I had a mullet when I was a kid, when I was in 8th grade.
Did your mom used to cut it?
No. But she liked it. She was like, your hair looks good like that.
I like it, Joey. I like it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you try to grow a mustache or have a mustache in high school?
In high school? No.
No, you weren't?
No.
Have any male members of your family, uncles or cousins, ever have a ponytail? It's not a quick no.
When we were little, when we were young, my cousin, it was different, but it's not like when we were kids, there was a thing called a rat tail.
Yeah.
You would have your hair shaved, but then you would have like a tail coming out of the back.
Sends a chill down my spine.
Yeah, those guys were tough.
My cousin had one of those, but I mean, we were like
kids,
11.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It wasn't
you can't be a 17-year-old with a rat tail. That's a bad.
Yeah,
look.
No, nobody in the sense that you're talking. No, nobody had.
Okay.
Nobody was like full on like, you know what I mean.
Sure, just rocking a ponytail.
Yeah, no.
We're allowed to get your ears pierced as a kid.
When I was 16. No, 15, I was allowed.
Oh. I always thought those kids were from the wrong side of the tracks, man. The kid shows up to fucking science class with his ears pierced. Woo.
Did your mom know about it, though?
Yeah, no, she approved. She let me at 15. She said when I turned 15, but I had to do it in the summer because we weren't allowed to have – I went to Catholic school, so we weren't allowed to have facial hair or earrings or anything like that in school. So I had to do it in the summer so it healed in time that when I went back to school, I could take it out during the day.
So you could rock it on the weekends.
And at night.
Yeah. Were you the kid who, like, as he's walking out, like to get on the bus, you put it in, like, yeah, fuck you, Father Steve.
I don't remember.
And what was it?
I don't remember.
Was it a hoop? Was it a stud? What were you?
When I first got it, my friend did my left ear. It was just a gold stud or whatever the fuck it was. Awful thing. But then when I got like at late high school, I got the second one pierced. I just did the 2 hoops to kind of go along with the half-assed punk motif.
Yeah.
It's that Beastie Boys. That it was that whole check your head.
Oh yeah,
that
definitely
shit,
influenced by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you smoke cigs in high school?
Not really.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever been to an air show?
Willow Grove, preferably.
I like how he's answering the questions too.
Yeah.
I think I went to one, but I didn't want to go. I never gave a shit about air shows. I was always like, I don't care about this.
Have you ever gone to the Pennsylvania State Fair?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to plenty of fairs.
The pop-up
Carnivals.
ones in the parking lot were always bad.
Yeah,
fucking news.
yeah. Lots of those. I was always excited about those.
Yeah.
This is as an adult, not as a kid, but as an adult. Have you ever gone to Pennsylvania Dutch country or Amish country?
On purpose?
Yeah.
As an adult? No.
Okay. Not like a Saturday.
No. Fuck no.
Growing up, did your mom used to serve crescent dinner rolls?
Yes.
Oh, they're trashy, but I fucking love the shit out of those things.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good.
How do you
Yeah.
feel? How do you feel about the three following Philadelphia staples? Number 1, tomato pie.
Excellent.
Number 2, the pork breakfast dish known as scrapple.
Excellent. Favorite.
And finally, how do you feel about the pork roll?
Pork roll, I could take it or leave it, but I like it. I
Whoa,
don't dislike it.
whoa. What? Pork roll, take it or leave it. Oh my
don't
God,
dislike it.
DeRosa.
I don't dislike it, but I'm not going out of my way for it.
Yeah, pork roll
Sorry.
runs a distant third to fucking scrapple and a little fucking tomato pie.
Yeah, scrapple all day, man.
Well, Foley eats all three of them together, so it's.
Dude, I've had like 3 tomato pies this summer already. Shout out to Corporate Lease.
Yeah, I got to get to. I haven't had tomato pie in a while. It's time. It's time to get back.
Get in touch with your Collegeville roots, Joe.
Yeah, back to my roots.
The
All right.
introspection in that statement.
I know.
I gotta get back there.
One day,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll do it, but I got to get me a tomato pie.
Do you sprinkle Parmesan on it? Because that's my favorite.
You got to, I think, right?
You don't have to, but yeah, it's pretty good. And then there was a place, I don't remember if it was Corporate Lease or not, that would put pepperoni on it.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't think it's
unfucking
corporate,
real.
but that sounds awesome.
I've never had
it
that.
was
That's
unreal.
a game changer.
It was unreal. It's no fucking joke, man. No fucking
Wow.
joke. Yeah.
I know what I'm doing this weekend. All right, pick one of the following: combos or Cheez-Its.
I do combos over Cheez-Its.
What?
That's new money stuff right there, Joe.
That's fucking trash.
Cheez-Its never did it for me, man.
Really?
Whoa.
No, next to Cheetos or Doritos, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Cheetos and Doritos are like, you might as well be drinking Mountain Dew with those. Cheez-Its a classy snack.
Nah,
If
I
your
always-
combos over Cheetos, then what are you, Reese's Pieces or M&Ms?
peanut
Say Reese's-
M&Ms.
Wow.
Peanut
Peanut
M&Ms.
M&Ms.
It's a real against the grain guy over here. I like it.
I don't. Up is down, down is up. What's going on?
Fucking
I
Joe
won't-
Derosa's a wild card.
I won't cross the street for regular M&Ms. I won't cross the street for them. And I do like Reese's Pieces, but they don't have enough chocolate flavor. I like a
True.
peanut M&M.
Do you like the snack known as Funyuns?
Take it or leave it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Good call.
Maybe with some French onion dip.
Ooh.
Bugles and French onion dip. There's a fucking
Bugles.
trash snack for you.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Make the fingers with them. You're
Yeah.
making fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, bleh.
Yeah.
Do they
But-
still make Bugles?
I think so.
Dude, I had some last night. I swear to God. Bugles Ranch. Fucking unbelievable.
Shit. I haven't even seen them in forever. I was talking about them recently with somebody. That's the only way I knew that they still made them.
I got a guy. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, Foley, you're like the Smithsonian for snacks.
Where did you get them from?
We're in this town in Long Island.
It's
called-
safe deposit box.
Who are you? Yeah. Who are you with?
I'm with my girlfriend. We came out to Greenport, Long Island for
They
a
have
couple of nights.
Bugles out in the Hamptons? That's fucking crazy.
I swear to God, it's a little convenience store across the street from the hotel.
Holy shit. That's wild, man. I can't believe it. All right, shit.
Got Bugles in the Hamptons.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
tell
so weird.
anybody. They'll be flooding the joint.
Yeah.
There's no Bugles out here, folks, just so everybody knows. It's just cocaine and rich people. Nothing you'd be interested to see here. Did you, Joe Derosa, go to any underage dance clubs as a kid?
100%. Shadows and King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Shadows.
Yeah.
They always had terrible names like Beach Street or Kicks,
Yeah.
you know.
Shampoo.
Yeah.
Shampoo
And I wore
is
a
big one.
rayon shirt and Z Cavaricis to it.
Ooh, holy shit. You had to be young for Z Cavaricis.
I got my Z's in
Got my Z's.
8th grade, I guess.
Holy shit.
Damn.
They weren't
Those-
cheap either, were they?
You know, it's funny. I actually was thinking about that recently. Like, I remember it was like a big deal to get a pair, and it was like they were expensive. I bet, like, in hindsight, they were like $60.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, they're probably the same price as like Levi's are now. Like, you know, the equivalent of like buying an $85 pair of pants right now. You know, like.
But
Sure.
asking your mom for that when you were a kid, you had I in those situations, if I want to like make a big purchase like that, I would have to cover some part of it. It would have to be like around my communion or my birthday. I would have to like, oh, you put 40 down and we'll put the rest, and you know, all that life learning bullshit.
Right. Yeah. That's so funny.
There's a question you might be able to relate to. You had a communion. You're Catholic. Did you ever see any of your communion money? Did you actually get it?
Yeah, I got confirmation money and communion money. I got some of it. Yeah, I was allowed to take a little bit of it and do some fun shit with it.
Yeah.
You're an Italian family too. You probably did pretty good. You remember what you got? What you pulled in?
Nah, no idea. No idea. But I remember getting like, I think like both times I bought a video game or something. With
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever
See,
I
the
got.
kids that got bar mitzvah,
Oh.
they'd fucking pull in like 10, 20 grand. Like, well,
Yeah.
what are you fucking getting married?
Yeah, no, I got like, you know, I probably got a few $100 or something total.
Yeah.
And it went into an account, you know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Same with mine. I never got the fucking account number to that thing.
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you that
I
much.
never saw a fucking dime of that money.
No.
That is coming and going.
Okay, were you guys growing up? Were you a cheese whiz household?
Not like there's a big argument about this with people, and it pisses me off. People think Cheese Whiz is the shit in the can, and it's not. Cheese Whiz is the sauce, and it was called Cheese Whiz. It was in a jar, and it was called Cheese Whiz. It's what you get on a cheesesteak sometime. So yeah, yes.
Ooh, that jar, the
spray,
with the red top.
My mom liked the spray stuff a little bit sometimes, but no, we didn't. We were as an Italian household, we were big on like actual like cheese,
proper
like
cheese,
and pepperoni and super salt, that kind of shit.
Dude, because I mean we're Irish Catholic trash, so like cheese and pepperoni, that was like a Kraft single and like a piece of Hormel or something. We didn't fuck with any of that. I'm just getting into that because now my wife is from Europe, so I'm like my mind's exploding every time I try something new. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. If you go to, I was in Rome once in like the charcuterie trays. It's like a standard there before every meal in the restaurant. It's just you get a charcuterie, and it's like it was unfucking real.
Yeah,
unfucking real.
You see a little kid eating charcuterie. That's pretty fucking classy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Italians do it different. I go on the road with Verzi, and after we go out to like wine bars and get like $150 charcuterie boards. I'm like, give me a PBR and a hooker. Let's go. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Verzi. I've had a meal or two with Verzi. He's a good man to eat with.
Yeah,
he's a good man to eat with.
All right, what do you got, Foley?
I got a two-part question. Have you ever worn a chain on the outside of your shirt when that shirt was a mock turtleneck?
I think so, yeah. Yes.
That's going in the file.
But I think it was an ankh. Like it was almost like an African kind of vibe.
What's an ankh?
An ankh is an Egyptian symbol.
Ah, okay.
And I think it was one of those on like a leather. It was a little more like African medallion style.
It wasn't like gaudy, cheap, trying to.
No,
flash.
it wasn't.
I'm talking gold here.
No. Never a gold.
Fucking gold, Joe.
No, I never had a gold chain. I've had this silver chain since I was a kid, but I never wore it on the
What's
outside.
on it?
Mary.
Okay.
The Blessed Mother.
I didn't peg you for a religious guy, Joe.
I'm not. My dad gave it to me when I was young, so it's just about my dad giving it to me.
Yeah, and those are more about superstition than anything. I got a few of those too that I would never let go of or throw out, just because you're like waiting for a fucking bolt of lightning to hit you if you do.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have pegged you for a gold chain guy.
No. No, my cousin was, but not me.
Most of your cousins were.
Yeah, I got a couple of cousins that are into the gold chain.
Yeah, not me. No.
Let's see. Anyone in your family ever own a Snuggie?
No.
Okay. Anybody in your family ever own a Flowbee?
No.
Okay.
Slip and slide?
No, we never had one. We had a pool. We had an in-ground pool.
Okay.
In-ground.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is one of the first in-ground pools we've had on this show.
Welcome to the club.
Look at you.
Foley's above ground trash.
Yeah, not too bad.
Did you have a diving board in that pool, Joe?
Yeah.
And did you also, here's the piece de resistance, did you have a slide?
No.
That's, only fucking like real rich kids whose dad owned like construction companies had a slide. That was real new money.
It was always right next to the diving board too, right to the right.
Yeah. No, in-ground pool, diving board.
How deep was the in-ground? How far did it go down?
8 feet.
Not bad. Not bad.
Do you have the light in the pool too for night swimming?
Yeah.
Follow-up question. Could you change the color of the lights?
Yeah, we had all the different colors.
Holy shit.
Joey Roses.
Damn. How much money do you have on you right now? Holy cow. This guy's fucking loaded.
The light cover, it was just covers.
It was just pieces of plastic. I know.
That would have blown my mind if I would have walked back there. What is that, purple? Holy shit.
My parents did not have a lot of money growing up, but my grandfather bought them that pool. My grandfather got sick before he died, and he came and he lived with my parents. And his dying gift to them was putting that pool in with the money he had.
Holy shit, that's a fucking class act right there.
Yeah, and then
that way you don't pay taxes on it either. You know what I mean? Uncle Sam doesn't get to wet his beak.
Yeah, exactly. But they could have never done that without him.
Dude, I
remember
remember
the 40 G's in cash that's buried under the pool, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I remember the first time I went to, you see the red pool, dude. I thought I was at the fucking Playboy Mansion. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the colored lights, they were amazing.
That was something else as a kid.
Yeah, it's like the Christmas thing. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Oh, my God. Have you ever followed a band around to multiple cities or gone to the same concert back to back? Like if a band comes into town, if you go on to the concert twice.
That I've done a couple times, very selectively, but no, I wouldn't. Never followed a band.
Never followed Fish or anything like that?
Fuck no.
Dave Matthews Band? Joe, tell us now. Did you go on tour with Dave Matthews?
No.
Sell grilled cheeses to make money?
Never even went to one show. No.
Were you a fan of any local Philly bands down the shore back in the day, like Mr. Green Jeans or?
No, the cover bands. No, I hated that shit.
All those fucking dorks going to Avalon or something, going to see some fucking cornballs sing.
And if you want to call me baby, some other losers singing that song.
Who was the big one in Jersey and Philly? They were the most popular cover band. They were the biggest bar band. They had a CD. It was called Live from the Stone Pony.
I thought it was Mr. Green. That's Mr. Green
could have been. There was one because I worked at Rainbow Records in Norristown when I was in high school. And
cool.
They actually had the cover band's CD at the store.
Yeah. I can't think of who it is.
Maybe it was. I played in bands. I hated that cover band shit. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, it really sucked.
Yeah.
Was it the Matt O'Ree band? Matt O'Ree? No. Okay.
It might have been Mr. Green Jeans. I don't remember.
Are you an Eagles fan?
Just by default. I'm not a sports guy. Never have been. But, if I'm going to root for a team, it would be the Eagles.
Okay.
Have you ever
Interesting answer.
I was excited when they won the Super Bowl. I knew what that meant,
and
all that stuff. So, to an extent.
Have you ever been to a wedding at a VFW?
Or
a Knights of Columbus. I know you're Italian.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was have you recently been to one that's been a cash bar?
Not recently, but I've definitely been to them.
Yeah. You've been to a wedding that was a cash bar?
Yeah.
that was the same question.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was fine. I didn't know if I missed something.
No. He's still focused on the bugles.
Definitely. I've also been to weddings where they only had beer and wine. They didn't have liquor.
Oh.
I have also been to weddings where they had to send the people out to get more liquor because we exhausted the bar.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah.
So they always drove to Delaware. Run down to Delaware real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever been at a wedding when a fight broke out?
Yep.
Oh.
Have you ever worn a leather jacket to a funeral?
No. Not to a funeral.
I don't know. There's not a lot of confidence in that leather jacket answer.
Yeah, I don't know about that
I
one.
just was thinking out of necessity if I had to once because I was like visiting and didn't have a suit with me and then somebody died all of a sudden. That's happened to me where you're scrambling to find, but no.
Anyone in your family own a pinball machine?
No, but I own an arcade machine.
Ah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What game
in
is
your
it?
apartment in New York?
Yeah, you can't see it. It's back there. Actually, if I move, you can kind of see
Oh,
it.
yeah, I see it. Yeah. What is it?
Star Wars, 1983.
That's a
Sweet.
class.
Did you have that in Los
purchase.
Angeles?
Yeah, I got it in L.A. I barely got it. We barely got it into this apartment. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get it out of here. I actually have anxiety when I think about it. It was so hard to get into this because of the way the stairwells are.
But you had to transport it from Los Angeles to an apartment in New York.
Yeah, I had it moved. Well, I had all my shit moved, but so that was part of it.
That's not too cheap right there. That cost you a pretty penny. Mr. Derosa is looking up. That's like something at a big. I like it.
Yeah, is your other room a trampoline?
Yeah.
When was the last time you were at a water park?
Yeah. Well, I can't even
Childhood.
remember.
Okay.
Not childhood, but teen, or maybe 21, maybe.
Mm-hmm. If you're going in your 30s, that's a tough look. I feel.
No, it's been. I can't even remember.
Okay.
I just have two more questions for you, Mr. Derosa. Have you ever been camping?
Yeah.
Garbage. Right there.
Garbage.
Kippy?
Yeah. This
Different
is the last
types of camping too. Camper and tents. Camper.
Who's
Yeah.
camper?
My uncle's.
Was it
a pop-up?
No, but it had an extension. Pop-up.
Okay. Yeah.
The in-law suite?
Yeah, and then I did tent camping too.
Yeah. Okay. My last one is: have you ever worn a No Fear T-shirt?
No, I was very against that whole. I hated No Fear. I hated geo trackers. I hated all that shit. That all went hand in hand. I really hated that whole thing.
Oh, you guys remember the Absolute T-shirts? It would be like Absolute whatever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Absolute, yeah. Man.
Absolute lacrosse or something like that?
Absolute garbage of the people that bought those things.
Yeah. I really hated that whole. That was when I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but when I was in high school and, getting into like going on trips to the beach with your buddies and party culture and whatever that you get into in high school into college, that was all very much like frat boy, Abercrombie and Fitch bullshit.
Yeah.
Like we really, we weren't into that stuff. It was a lot of the beaded necklace crap,
The shell necklaces too.
Puka shell necklaces.
Yeah, all that shit, that was.
All right, I just got one last question for you, Joe.
Sure.
Have you or any member of your family ever been on a duck boat or a double-decker bus tour?
Members of my family have been on bus tours, but no, not me.
Have they ever gone to one of the tours in Italy?
like the vacation package?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, my mom was supposed to go on one, but fucking COVID hit, and she was furious.
What? Yeah. A Perillo? Was she taking a Perillo?
She was taking a Perillo tour.
Oh, my God. Kevin. I wouldn't tell any. I'd cut this out. That is fucking trash.
No lie. I want to send my parents on one of those, though. That's true.
Yeah.
So that might be.
Well, like, dude, if you're thinking about it, my mom's in her fucking, who knows, 60s, late 60s? What's she going to be fucking trekking around Rome with a fucking map and not, she barely speaks English. What the fuck? She can't speak Italian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just put them on a bus and let some fucking idiot show them the 6 things they need to see.
Trying to
That's
buy
why
smokes at a Wawa in the middle of Rome.
Yeah, you just got a Wawa here? Yeah.
Do you have a go-to Wawa order, Joe?
Yeah, I do actually. I usually at Wawa get an Italian and a meatball. But if it's like the holidays, sometimes I'll get the turkey thing.
The gobbler.
Yeah, sometimes
you're
I'll
a
get
fucking
that.
gentleman, Joe.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll get that, but I usually get 2 at a Wawa. I'm big on that. Like I got Shorty's the other night in New York, which is a great spot for sandwiches. I always get 2. I get an Italian and a cheesesteak. I always, it's way more enjoyable.
Smart move.
Match.
The gentleman's move right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Derosa. Joe, thank you so much for sitting in with us. Is there anything you want the gang out there to know? Anything coming up?
Well, Corinne Fisher and I have a podcast. It's on Gas Digital. It's called Without a Country. We cover the news by taking 4 stories each week and reading the far left and far right takes on each story, and then trying to find some gray area in the middle of the two. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it, and it's doing well, and we want it to keep doing well and keep growing. So please go listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to get it from Gas Digital, code WAC gets you free 30 days over there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Kippy, you got anything for him?
Just make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, full video available on YouTube, and check out that fucking Patreon, everybody.
Yes, sir. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Are You Garbage? Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Mr. Joe Derosa. Joe, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you.